Shameless kitten clip. Cute. Look at this. This guy is so cute. And we are gonna show him, the last time we put kittens on the counter, they jumped off in the video. So this guy is getting bigger. He's got such a pathetic cry.
I know.
And it's so cute. And there's mom, so I'm gonna put him with mom. So
They're
that he can not be too
old.
annoyed with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we got something a little different. So we started working with this company called RTL Fasteners. They are an internet-based company that sells, I believe they're US-based, which is pretty cool. I know some of you guys will like that a lot. They sent us 2 kits to try, okay? One is a metric here, and one is a standard kit here with some drivers. These are ball end drivers, so they're gonna work nicely. This is a very small tool, which is kind of nice because we don't necessarily want to have a million gigantic tools. But the idea is when you need weird fasteners, and we all know it's gonna happen at some point, we go to the hobby shop, you can get a few when you really need them, but it seems like anymore I go to the hobby shop and everything is depleted. And it's really unfortunate because that's the sort of thing that I really want to go to the local hobby shop for. I don't want to have to normally order them online. But to be honest with you, you may find that this RTL company can actually take care of your basic needs on the common ones, okay? Now the reason we're showing you these 2 kits, this is the fastener kit, is kit number 9155. And you may be surprised, you get this much hardware, it's a pretty good economical value. We'll have a coupon code in there. The way that you can help our channel is to buy through the coupon code. Of course, you guys will save a few bucks because they have a discount associated with it, but then that's how they know that you came from our video. So we'll add that to it. And the reason we're showing you this is because your fearless RC reviewer, Brian Phillips, may have broken his brand new Draco on its maiden. Now, but I can say this, okay? It wasn't without some extra encouragement from me because I was backing up a hill onto a sod bump in the dark. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm gonna show you exactly what went wrong. So we have this thing propped up. By the way, awesome plane, everything phenomenal. What happened today was my fault. But even if it is my fault, I think Horizon is sending out a replacement for this. They want to make sure there's not an issue because this is a big deal and they want to take care of their customers. I had somebody the other day claiming how much Horizon hated its customers. And I'm like, why would you ever hate your customers? I mean, I don't care how greedy and huge of a company you are, you love your customers because they're the ones that make you money. Yeah. So anyway, just like I love you guys, my audience, even when you make remarks like that, luckily, he probably won't be in the audience any longer. So anyway, we've got this thing set up. You can see what happened was I broke it here, and probably because I was backing up way too fast and I hit a hill in the dark. So we just busted the plastic here, but you'll see that it's got a through hole here, okay, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they can hear these kids.
They probably can't because
they're so squeaky. So what we're gonna do is we'll show you how we're gonna fix ours. Obviously that is going to be a fixable thing, not a big deal. I think my goal is I'm going to use some hardware to go through the bottom with a washer, and then I'm going to use hardware on the top to actually mount and sandwich the whole plastic assembly together. Probably just do a couple drips of CA as well, and we'll see how that turns out. But I wanted you guys to see how I was going to deal with it in case you run into a similar situation. And this is a perfect opportunity. I told RTL when we started talking to them, you know, we get a lot of, you guys don't realize this, but when you're doing a YouTube channel and you start to hit some landmarks, everybody wants to advertise stupid crap on your channel that's completely unrelated, like t-shirts. But we love these shirts, so we're very happy to be working with Into the AM. So we try to kind of like really modestly roll out a few choices here and there. So in case you're wondering what just happened, our cat came flying into the window, and that's the noise you heard was this, our male cat, who is the biggest cat of our batch, and he was being attacked by a cat that was about 3 times the size, so I took care of the problem. So back to the point. Lots of people try to advertise on your channel weird things. And it's like, you know, we want to respect your guys' time. This is a perfect fit for the channel. RTL is going to be able to serve our community really well. Because look at this is one kit. Look at all the stuff that comes in here. Just kind of do like a slow pan so people can look and see all these weird sizes. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't find these locally. I'm sure you can. And they sent these things too, which are, if you want them. This is the, which one is this? This is the 743 metric hardware set. Okay, plus the bonus Pro Hold ball drivers. So RTL Fasteners reached out to us and we said, yeah, like this is actually kind of a perfect fit. And I admitted to her, I said, we don't do a lot of build-up kits and things like this. But I said, when we have things break, it would be nice to be able to fix stuff. And it's hard to find some of these weird random sizes and lengths. And you can always take a long bolt and cut it down, but you can't necessarily find a metric when you have a standard. Okay, so that was the rationale behind these two kits. Again, we'll have a link in the description below, just like we do for the planes. We want to help support these companies that are supporting our hobby, especially if they're North American based, which is really cool. I know some of you guys aren't even in North America, so sorry. Most of the stuff that we're, you know, bringing to the market is made overseas and it's sold here. But this stuff is marketed right here in North America, which is pretty cool. So anyway, getting back to the repairs, what happened on this plane was I was reversing back up a hill in the dark, and this thing snapped from the plastic body. So I need to take this out. And I was thinking I could probably do it without actually taking it all apart. But I'm gonna have to take it apart to actually fix it and put it back in. So my first step is gonna be to release this. This is a Phillips screw and then a nut driver. So I'll probably just use a crescent wrench because there's only one of them, and a Phillips screwdriver. So this RTL Fasteners, the rationale behind doing this today on this particular video is that I thought we could use one of the screws, and it just happened to work out perfect. We literally got the box in the mail today. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna release this just to show you how serviceable this plane is. And I'm coming to you guys, you know, we always review this stuff. See, like in a condition like that where you drop a nut into your carpet and you'll never find it ever again, then you could just replace it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is drop this down, and there's the bolt or the screw. And in this case, we're just gonna pull this up and out, and we'll take a look at what happened. And we'll do a damage assessment. Okay, so we can undo that super easy. Look how nice this stuff is. That is just so cool. That thing screws on and off. Are you kidding me? Wow, just so cool. Okay, so it looks like the plastic broke. Just for the sake of ease, I do see the nut, so I am gonna find it. It sits here, it's a nylock. For grins and giggles, let's see if we have this in this kit. Now, the fastener heads might be a little bit different on some of these, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna go by size real quick. And I have not checked this before, so hopefully we can find one. It looks pretty darn close to this. So that would be pretty cool if it was the first shot, but if it's not, then it'll be standard. You could also just take the screw and put it into the, you know, take one of the nuts and use it because it's the same size. Okay, and if it binds, then you know it's wrong, but that feels pretty darn right to me. So just to be clear, that would have saved the day if I would have not been able to find that piece that fell into the carpet. And it looks like this one's an M2.58, so this is 16, this is 20, and this is 12. So it looks like 12 would be what we would need. So that's gonna get us the same length or a little bit longer, so you have a little bit of extra on there. So the M2, of course, speaks to the size of the shaft and the actual size of the screw, if you will. And then you can see that's a little bit longer then. So that's 12 millimeters long, okay? And this is the nylock that came with it. So we'll just go ahead and run that on there. Yeah, that works perfect. Pretty cool. Cool. And there are occasions where you just want to upgrade the hardware. I don't get into those occasions very often because I'm not that picky about the hardware. My big thing is I want washers where washers don't exist many times. Okay, so the next step we have to do is we have to try to fix this assembly, which looks like the plastic actually broke for us. And my goal is to take this out, and I'm actually gonna run instead a long screw or bolt through it. So we have a couple of different choices. I'm just gonna lay that there. In our case, we have to take out the central screw, and we're gonna probably just make this assembly go together, and then we're gonna have to actually assemble it over there on the plane, just because the way it goes together. I could take the whole thing off, but that'd be too much work. Okay, so there's our hardware, which this was just a machine. See, it's keyed up here. Okay, you see? It's just a machined plastic screw is what I would call that. Okay, so now we can use that to size up a replacement, and I'm gonna search no further than a 20 millimeter long. Let's see if this is long enough. This could actually work out pretty awesome. I'm surprised. I didn't know if it was gonna work or not. But let's see if that fits through. Yep, it fits through. Okay, so let's see if this fits. Full disclosure, I did not try any of this before the video. That would be way too much prep work. Okay, and I was on the phone with Esteban earlier. Okay, so let's use this M3. So what size was that? That was an M2. So do we have an M2? We have an M2 flat washer. If you guys aren't familiar, metric washers are a little bit tighter on the tolerance on the hole, on the through hole, in my experience, than a standard washer. I don't know why that is. It's just kind of the way it is. So, all right, let's check this. Yep, there's a washer. Okay, cool. So that worked. So far, so good. And remember, this was the M20 or the M220 millimeters. So we actually have an M26, we have an M216, and we have an M212. My camera crew was supposed to put these in order, but she probably didn't know how the numbers ordered.
She was also making dinner.
She was also making dinner. There's that too. But we've both been busy tonight. Okay, so we're just gonna try to feed this through like that, just to kind of get that down. And then that's actually, that might end up being just a hair too long there, camera crew, you see? Yeah, that's gonna, I mean, this would probably work right now, but I think I'm gonna actually have the nut go up here. Do you see what just happened? These stinking cute cats.
Who are also scared of literally everything.
And our cat over here, he's just like pretending that he's dying. Oh, poor me. I feel bad for him because he probably just got whooped, but that's okay. I got the last laugh. We love animals. When you live in the country and you have animals, your animals depend on you to protect them. So we live in Realityville, in case you guys were wondering. All right, so you see that? Look at that beauty. That's so cool. But that bolt protrudes a little bit further than I want it to. So you could cut that down, but I think I've got 16 millimeters, so we're just gonna go for a 16.
There's a 16.
There's a 16. See how nice this kit is so far? This is crazy. I had no idea we were actually gonna be able to accomplish anything useful today.
And you can get, they have tons of individual
you can buy
stuff
just this.
too.
Yeah, you don't have to buy. It's just a lot better value if you buy the kits.
Yep.
And when I talked to the gal, I said, you know, like, just send some generic kits so that we can show people what you have, because I didn't know what we need.
Right.
And she didn't know what we need, and Megan didn't know what we need, and the cats certainly didn't know what we need. They knew we'd need an interruption and running into the window halfway through a video. Okay, so the 16 looks like it's gonna be about darn near perfect. Oh yeah,
but do you have enough to hold on
I don't
to
think
it?
we're gonna have enough purchase because I took my washer out too. So yep, I think 20 was the way to go. This is what's so nice about this, because if you were to order the 16s, you would have got the wrong size by, you know, probably a millimeter or two.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and get this threaded on here. That's our one washer for the bottom. I may have to take this wheel out, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to feed it through and just press the tire so I don't have to take it apart. Yeah, I'm lazy. There we go. That went through perfectly, which is pretty cool. And then I think this tool should give us something to drive it with, and you can drive it at an angle because of the ball joint. Now this kit just happens to include these, so you'll have to check and see what, oh yeah, that That makes purchase at that steep of an angle.
Wow,
that
that's
is
awesome.
pretty awesome. Okay, I've got ball joint hex drive tools for my work, but
Probably not quite that small.
I'm too lazy to go get them for my videos. Okay, so we're just gonna slide this together. And then we've got, probably we're gonna need another washer, and then we're gonna need some sort of a nut, okay? So we're gonna need a washer and a nut. So let's get another washer. Was that a M2?
Yeah.
I would have my camera crew get it, but she is holding the camera, which makes sense because that's what she does. Okay, so there's M2, if you're wondering. There's a product number there. You're gonna have to let me know if you get them in focus there.
Got it.
Okay, so obviously we got little lock washers and stuff, but we're not gonna do lock washers on this. We're probably gonna do a lock nut, a nylock, if we have it. It says M3, M2.5, and M2. Yeah, baby, look at that. And those are stainless steel. Nice. Man, look at that nutsack. They're so small.
I don't know.
Here we go. All right, here we go, guys. So we got, that is so dinky.
Goodness.
Now, good luck going to Home Depot and finding that.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna find it unless your Home Depot's in China. And then they might have such things there, but not here where I live, stateside. Okay, so we're just gonna get that started. And I said I was gonna try to glue that and then just use this to kind of hold it together, but let's kind of see what happens here. So I'm just gonna stick the doohickey in the other doohickey, and now I need to grab this from underneath this gigantic wing. And we're just gonna tighten that down on there. This is the easiest way I can think to do it. And let's see if that spins. Oh yeah, buddy, she's going. Tightening in nicely. And then once we get that tight, I can throw a couple of drips of CA in there if I want. I might actually not need CA at all. But I am gonna have to take it apart so I can feed it through the housing. See, and there you have it. So now that thing is technically fixed, but I think it would probably still be a good measure to go ahead and put a couple drips of CA on the top of that plastic, and I can tighten this down a little bit more yet. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some CA and pause. Okay, so we got the CA that we got from a Dynam plane, I think. So just whatever's in here, which is hardly anything. We need like one drip. So I'm just gonna use that. Obviously we have links to CA on our videos, so if you wanna buy the stuff that's nicer, that's fine, and we would appreciate you doing that. Obviously we put links to a lot of this stuff, and we assume you're so good to us, you're gonna buy it from our links if you're watching our videos and trying to help support us. Doesn't feel like there's much in there, so we'll come right back. Okay, so we're back. So at this point, I'm gonna take this CA and just do like a drip or two or three, or just whatever it takes to kind of get the bottom of that covered up. Okay, CA is basically just super glue is what it is, okay? And then all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slide this down here in the position that it needs to line up. So it's like this, okay? And then that just needs to set up for a little bit, okay? So we could either use kicker, which would set it up almost instantaneously. But then I've also heard that people will use water. So I'm gonna try that because, again, yeah, I don't know if it's true. That's, we'll see if it works, and then we'll share it with you right now. Okay, so we'll just do a little bit of water on the edge there. I think it's something about the way that the water just speeds up the reaction. Okay, we'll find out if it's true right now. Okay. Yeah, that feels like it's set. That's crazy. I don't smell anything. It's not cooking off anymore. And when I say cooking off, I mean the chemical reaction has slowed or finished. So let's try it here on the bag. So we've got a little bit of glue there. Watch this. I can't tell if it's working. Sure smells pretty strong still, but it's set up enough to handle, so I'm fine with that. So we'll just cap this little thing off. And now that we have that glue set up enough to be handled, no problem. And it doesn't need to hold like permanently for till the end of time. That glue just has to, basically once we get this sandwich together, it's gonna hold it permanently. Okay, so now let's go double check and see if this is gonna work. We have a washer and a nut, okay? So it's really huge, huge stuff, see? Good thing it's a big plane, right? So let's go ahead and put this together right now. Let's see if we can get this to go. If you wanna traverse over here, camera crew. Okay, so I have all these things ready to rock and roll. This is gonna be a pretty easy repair actually, given that I broke this thing on the first flight like a dummy. Okay, so that's gonna feed up in there and then it's gonna be allowed to pivot just like it was before. And then let's just size it up. Oh yeah, we're gonna have clearance. And I don't think we're gonna have an issue. Let's simulate how far up that's gonna go. Oh yeah, that opens as it goes up. Do you see what I'm talking about, folks? So that's as low as it's ever gonna be, is right there. So that means we can go ahead and run it that way. So far, so good. And by the way, this was, I don't know if I said it clear enough, but this was not an issue with craftsmanship or anything like that. This was totally just me being an idiot. I was not being careful at all. Which way were those? They were on the top, weren't they? I think they were on the top, weren't they? Nope, they were on the bottom. That's what they were. So I might actually have better luck if I do this first. Because we didn't assemble it in this order, okay?
Right.
Yeah, so this needs to go like that. And then that, see, so this comes up from the bottom like so. Yeah. So you see how that kind of goes in from the bottom? Okay, and it rotates like that. And then we got to pull our excess. That's going to bring that back up into position, okay? This is pretty easy, pretty serviceable thing. Obviously, this is extra serviceable if you have that little hardware kit from RTL. And you know, the other thing too, I just want you guys to know, when we do kind of bring things, we're just bringing them because we feel like they're going to be a good fit for what we use. And sometimes that means it's, you know, farm-related stuff, which some of you guys aren't into. And sometimes it just strictly has to do with hobby stuff. And then other times it has to do with like, you know, air gauges and kittens. So unfortunately for you, if you're not into it, we're probably still going to review it, but we try not to make a big thing of it. By the way, these Into the AM t-shirts have been awesome. Mm-hmm. I've been wearing them pretty much like all the time in the evenings. Now I just need to get them to send me a bunch to wear during the day at my work, my day job, because they've been super comfy.
I wore my sweatshirt all day today. I like their hoodies too.
Okay, I'm gonna need 3 hands for this. Okay. So either you can help me hold this, or I can get it started because it's a nylock, so it's not threaded. Now I'm hitting the top. So now that I'm hitting the top, this ball joint thing has like been kind of a godsend because there's no way I could do that without the ball joint. I didn't even realize that the ball joints were coming with this. I knew there was some hardware coming. Can you give them a shot for my right shoulder so they can actually see into the, you guys see that? No, over my right shoulder. My shoulder's attached to my neck. Do you see that? See that? See how I'm spinning and it's moving? Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to give them a shot so they can see it actually. Mm-hmm. I want them to see the full penetration, okay? The people watching want to see the penetration.
Well.
Yes, I know they do. Okay, so I think that's fully penetrated. Because as I spin it, I don't feel like there's much more I could get. Let's check another way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, at this point, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so now all I need to do, you can stay right there, camera crew.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the rest of my nuts and bolts here. We've got a nut, we've got a screw, and then we've got a Phillips. Okay, so we've got a Phillips screw. This is the one that we did not need to replace because we already had it. We didn't lose this one. But you could put those black ones in and be more pretty. Okay. So again, RTL Fasteners, we'll have links below. It's not so much a link on this one, that's a coupon code. So you just use that coupon code and then you'll help support the channel and then you can get a little discount on your purchase too. Okay, cool. That's pretty sweet. As good as new, except that it's not. It's better than new because now we have a through bolt here instead of just a screw from the top and depending on the plastic. So I'm going to try one more time now that everything is kind of sandwiched together. I'm going to use needle nose pliers for this last step. The needle nose pliers are going to give us the ability to reach in there now that it's kind of up into that assembly. We're going to see if we can get this thing tightened even tighter. Whoops. Let's go right here. Okay. Sorry, camera crew. Oh man, I can't get purchase because it's sunk down in there. There we go. No, it's gone. I got another half turn out of it. So now what I need to do is I need to see, oh yeah, that's going to be free. That's going to be free and good. So now we just need to let the CA set up. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a little bit and come right back. Okay, everybody. So we are done with the fix. The fix, of course, was backing uphill in the dark with the plane onto a bump. And here we go. As you can see, right as rain, whatever that means. I'm not old enough to understand. But it looks pretty good.
It does.
I'm happy with the way that turned out. It feels like it's going to be just as solid as it was the day that we opened it out of the box, which was only a few days ago. And so our thanks go out to rtlfastener.com, where you can get your very own kit to match my kits. I'm not even sure I'm going to use these things. I think what I need to do is make a pegboard or something, and then have the pegboard have one side that has the metric on it, and then you can rotate it like on a turntable. That would be sweet. And then I can just walk up to the pegboard and then have sizes like this, and then I can rotate it and I can get to the other side if I want metric or standard. Because the way that we had this laid out, it worked really fantastic because you could see what the size classes were, and then I could just scroll down and find what I needed and go for it.
Yeah.
So I could also do this on a big folder, a big, huge piece of paper that's folded in half, and then I could just staple these, and then I could find them easily.
I wonder if you could use like those tri-fold display boards.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Cardboard.
Like a display board. Because then we could put it like right here in the kitchen as a permanent feature of our living space. That was a hard no.
That was a hard no.
But don't you want to support RTL Fasteners?
Yeah, but not for my kitchen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so when I need to fix your coffee maker, can we support RTL Fasteners?
Yeah, from downstairs.
All right, the Draco, awesome plane so far. Everything they said it was going to be, it was that, and then there was just a little bit more. I mean, they talked it up really, really big, but it's really good, and it's
really
pretty big too. But I can definitely say this, so far, impressed. Really impressed. The build went super smooth. The flight was gorgeous. I mean, we flew it a long time. Very, very long time. It was probably 20 minutes. And they were saying 5 minutes. That was a 5006S 30C Gen 2 pack. And it was at 5% when we plugged it in. And it still had enough. I could have done one more sortie. But it would have been like, whoop. No, we probably could have got all the way around and landed. But the reverse thrust works great. You can get yourself in trouble because the pitch moment, when you first turn that on, there is braking. And so the prop is already stopped when you get to 0 throttle. And then when you flip that on and then you engage more throttle, it will have a tendency to kind of pitch the plane in an unexpected way. So I'm going to warn you about that now. But it is definitely going to be fun getting to know how to do that. And I have some ideas that I may practice on my own that I can do that would be like an idle up on a helicopter. So instead of switching from 0% throttle or leaving the throttle at like say 10% so we can tractor the prop on landing, which just means spin instead of brake like this because it's braking this prop breaks. The motor brakes when you're at 0% throttle. We could leave it at 10%, and then when you get in and you touch down, just flip the switch, don't do anything with the stick at all. And it would automatically start going backward. I can tell you also from experience, when you do reverse thrust and you're trying to stop, you're pretty much gonna be going 100% throttle because the reverse is so much less efficient based on the way that this prop works, that you'll find that, first of all, it's very loud and exciting, and that's cool. But you just need to be aware that it's not gonna be efficient, even close to the same level of efficiency going forward. And that's not gonna come as a surprise to anybody who is well-versed in aerodynamics and props and radio-controlled airplanes and things like this. But it is still a really cool feature. So thanks to RTL Fasteners. Check the link in the description below. We're obviously gonna be linking to the Draco, as we have wanted to do for many, many moons and finally can. If you're seeing this video, this was filmed in our hiatus, our little break. Special thanks to Mike Patey for bringing this to the world, and then for Horizon to talking Mike into letting you build it for us. Thank you for both of whatever level of interaction was necessary to bring this into my living room and / kitchen. We're very happy that you did that, whoever was involved, but especially Mike Patey and Horizon Hobby for doing that. And this was a long project, guys. I mean, years in the process. And I'm not even talking about the Draco itself. I'm talking about the radio-controlled Draco. So that was an undertaking in and of itself. But obviously, if you guys check out Mike Patey's channel, he obviously has a YouTube channel. If you didn't already know that, I would be amazed. Check out his stuff. He's got some amazing stuff, and he puts our content to shame. But at the same time, we tend to like it. So with that, we appreciate you. World's best subscribers, world's best audience on YouTube. Definitely, we wouldn't be here without you. Come back for more.